Justin Baldoni files an amended lawsuit against the New York Times, thanks to the internet, thanks to TikTok. I can't remember the original creator's name. Please give her credit if you know her link to TikTok, due to the metadata. And are they scrubbing their tracks? Are they scrubbing their tracks? Because I went to the New York Times article today and everything looks like now it's saved the metadata, or like if you open link a new tab, I can't find anything that's dated before December now and before I could. So are the New York Times scrubbing, trying to cover their tracks, trying to be like, oh, look at the crazy TikTokers, look at the crazy YouTubers. There's nothing to see here. I don't know. It's really interesting, but I can't find the metadata that was previously there. And I don't know, can you do that on an article? You tell me. I don't know if you can. But today we're going to do kind of a roundup. I want to go over really quick Justin Baldoni's amended lawsuit. I want to touch quickly on how Blake doesn't want Bryan Freedman to, like, she doesn't want to deal with him. Is it the deposition? I think she doesn't want Bryan Freedman to deal with him, or she doesn't want him to take it. What we're going to do is I started to look at, Megyn Kelly, there's so many people that describe Bryan Freedman as like this pit bull, but also I think Megyn Kelly said, like, you feel so held and he, he's soft and he's caring and, he genuinely cares about you. And so I thought, I wonder what his design is. So we're going to look at how Blake doesn't want to deal with Bryan Freedman, but then I want to look at his, what I call astro design. That's how I work with my clients with their human design and gene key, I do gene keys as well, but human design and astrology. We're going to break down Bryan's body graph and his natal chart to explain that he's a Gemini, which makes sense. He's also a projector in human design for those that know human design. And I want to look at how Blake was never told no. She doesn't know what no means. All right. So we're going to do a little bit of a roundup today. However, before we get started, I want to let you guys know, because I've had some people leave comments and they're like, if you just stuck to tarot, then your channel would grow faster. If you just stuck to like this, your channel would grow faster. So I just want to give you guys a quick rundown. So we have a lot of new friends here, a quick rundown of the channel. I love pop culture. So I would be doing this stuff on my own. And then I was like, what if I stream this as well and put it out there for you guys who are kind of into the woo? Oh my goodness, Alaska's eating. Who are kind of into the woo and enjoy the spiritual angle to all of this and the spiritual explanations to all of this. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to stream it. But streaming for now is not what pays my bills. If you go to ashleybriannaeve.com, you'll see that like I do this, which is human design astrology for clients. That is my business. So I can't completely lose the plot on YouTube where I'm just like ditching that, because a lot of people find me on YouTube and become clients. So I just wanted to let you guys know that, yeah, I totally get it from a YouTube perspective. If I just like pumped out tarot readings every day, my channel would grow a lot faster. If I just stuck to only pop culture updates, it would grow a lot faster. But when we're looking at branding from a branding perspective, that's what I help people do. We have to look at virality doesn't necessarily mean brand growth. So what I do here is kind of walk that line between giving you guys what you want and also being conscious of my brand and being conscious of who I serve and how I serve people in my business, which my YouTube's attached to my business. All right. So anyway, I want to let you guys know that I do appreciate the tips and I totally get it, because actually that's what I do for a living, is help people build brands online. So I do understand the YouTube algorithm and what would make my account grow faster, but it doesn't make me grow faster in terms of my end goals. All right. So let's do this, guys. Let's do this. Are you ready for it? Where should we even start? Actually, no, I don't think we're going to start at Blake Lively refusing to be deposed by Bryan Freedman. I want to start with, let's switch this, with the TMZ article. There we go. There it is. All right, let's have a look. Okay, do you guys remember the other day? So I didn't go live yesterday. So today is, I don't even know what day today is. Today's Saturday. I didn't go live Friday because my dog Alaska came home and I actually genuinely wasn't aware of how medically needy he would still be when he came home. So I wasn't able to go live yesterday. However, We did, I believe it was a tarot pull on Thursday, and it was in regards to the claims that someone may be coming forward with like allegations against him that kind of like back up Blake. And we did the poll, and there was a hesitant yes in regards to like, yes, someone is thinking about it. Yet all the cards we pulled for Justin in that card pull were like, he's not worried about it. And so I think he's not worried about, there's just so much happening behind the scenes. Like, he knows all the shit they have, right? So I think that's a big reason why. And then we just see this. Justin Baldoni is, on it. TikTokers, good job. Amends suit against Blake Lively. So Justin Baldoni says he now has cold hard proof. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds had it out for him for several months before she dropped her Christmas surprise lawsuit against him. According to docs obtained by TMZ, alleges that there was malicious and reckless defamation of his character start at least as early as October 31st. And that has to do with when she started like work with the New York Times. But we saw this, I think, on the Thursday stream as well, the Reddit thread of someone saying that she was making threats like a long ass time ago, saying, if I don't get what I want, if you don't release my version, well, then I'm going to the New York Times. Not I'm going to the police, not I'm going to the union, not any of that. I'm going to the New York Times, which to me, if I was being SH'd and things were that bad at my job, the New York Times wouldn't be my first place to go. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of places you can bring like a complaint as serious as that before it's like, let's just go to the media, So here's the evidence. Justin's team claims observers of the article found viewing the HTML source code for the article revealed references to a message embed generator that referred to a date of October 31st. So in layman's terms, and in Justin's lawsuit, he says that shows the New York Times started building this allegedly defamatory article no later than October 31st. All right. So he's amended that. I've got a good feeling, guys, that there's going to be a settlement. He's going to get his dues with the New York Times. However, what I want you guys to do today is go to the New York Times article today. I know like we're giving them clicks, but I just want to make sure I'm not crazy, because before I saw the same dates that everyone else was. And now if I pull up the codes for, it won't let you see the codes on how I share with, obviously, because you can't even see the link for TMZ. I can't find anything that's before December 16th. Everything's been changed to December 16th. The picture of him, the one that has smear Baldoni, is now saying December 18th. Another one with him from the premiere, December 20th. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I saw the dates before that were actually showing that started earlier. I almost wonder if they're starting to cover their tracks. Maybe. I don't know. All right, next. And for those that are watching on the replay, I'll put the little chapters for you guys, or the timestamps or whatever they're called, so you guys can see. All right, let's look at, I'm going to close that because I'll never be able to get my way back. Okay, let's go to, because that's going to lead us right into Bryan Freedman's human design and natal chart, which I think is so interesting. Let me just pull it up here. Now I just have to find the right link. Oh, there it is. Legal Bites. She is wonderful. I really like watching Legal Bites. I absolutely love the way that Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively have invented the 12-hour news cycle, the 8-hour news cycle, the 6-hour news. Literally, I honestly have to take one day off because of my dog. And I'm like, you should see my notes section. I'm like, I can't even deal with all of this today because I have to get to town. He's like a husky and he's being picky over his food. So I have to go get him different options that are safe for him after being in a medical emergency. So I'm like, I can't even, my notes section is like links like this. And I can't get to all of it today, but there's always so much popping off. They dominate the 24, 12, 8, and 6-hour news cycles. They literally do. It's just wild. And here's the thing, guys. So I'm going to try and find and clip it and put it into a reel. I did one of my first astrology, other than this week with my dog in the hospital, I didn't get around to it, but I do a weekly astrology report on Mondays for the week. And at the start of this year, I was like, this is the year Hollywood comes down. Like, your favorites are going to be coming down. And there was a point where I was like, I hesitate to say Taylor Swift. And whenever shit like this goes down, I'm hesitant to say Taylor Swift is included in that, because no matter kind of what comes at her, the reality is her PR team and marketing team and her branding has been so strong that I'm always hesitant to like commit to she'll come down. But have you guys seen the pictures of her with Ronan Farrow before all of this mess happened? Like, she was hanging out with Ronan Farrow, and then, that's the 6 degrees of separation of Blake Lively, New York Times. It is wild. It is wild. But yeah, this definitely isn't good for Taylor. I still don't think she's going to be, she might get a couple arrows in her, but it's not going to be, and I don't mean literally, no one freak out on me, but her brand might get a couple arrows in it, or cuts from the sword fight, but I don't foresee her being in a hard place. All right, let's have a quick look. So I want to touch on Bryan Freedman's Human Design and Astrology to give you some context. So Legal Bites, great legal channel. I don't think she's been posting much recently. She had a baby. I'm sorry, but this letter from Justin Baldoni's legal team to the court about Blake Lively's attempt to refuse to be deposed by Bryan Freedman has me chuckling. They are, of course, correct. As the witness, you don't get to choose which attorney deposes you. And Blake, now that you've shown you're afraid of him, it's only going to be a worse experience. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I don't know if showing your cards is a great, like, just be like, for all her faults, like Amber Heard, when she went in, you see the videos of her being interviewed by lawyers, and like, girl was just, confident in the bullshit she was spewing. I think Blake would have been better to just go that route if she's going to continue lying rather than and try to get him out of it. Woman up, sit for the depo and don't complain. If you brought this legal mess to begin with, the court is especially unlikely to be sympathetic to your attempts to get out of it. So what has dropped is this legal letter to the judge, and it's from, I believe it's from Kevin Fritz, January 30th. All right, so it says, during a conference of the parties, counsel on January 30th, 2025, counsel for everyone stated their objection to the Wayfair parties lead counsel. Oh, okay, so counsel for the Wayfair parties requested the earliest possible deposition of Blake Lively. Okay. Counsel for Miss Lively and Ryan Reynolds, the Lively party, stated that their objection to the Wayfair party's lead counsel conducting the deposition of Blake Lively. It's just wild, the audacity. Now, if we look back at her human design, I've done so much on it. I'm not going to pull it up again. Like, there is a lot of audacity just in her human design and natal chart. And audacity isn't something bad unless it's this. Like, this is like almost diluted audacity for someone that's very clearly never been told no. Blake Lively and her dragons, Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds are over. Yeah, this is wild. And Taylor, like, my issue with Taylor is her brand has really been built on playing the victim in many respects. And like, girl, you do you. She built a very successful brand. I very much respect Taylor in terms of a businesswoman. But own up to your shit. Like, that's just, don't pretend that you had no idea and you weren't involved, especially when bestie Blake Lively's going around saying the complete opposite. Taylor Swift is going to go down for this drama. Taylor Swift needs to be canceled for a few. Well, yeah. But see, this is the thing with Taylor's brand is they just throw money at it. They throw money. They look at all the money she's donated. Look at all the money she's given her staff. She's so sweet. She just throws money at it. So that's why, because it just like what happens in the bad press that comes out about her gets buried underneath all of that. Not saying I agree with it. Come back with a children's book after having a kid and they're now 4 years old. Yeah. If Blake Lively keeps trying to avoid the deposition, hopefully the judge will slap her with contempt. I hope so. She really has never been told no. Yeah. You need a cat spray bottle for her. That's so good. Okay, so counsel, we're going to break down. I think it's going to give you some context into Bryan Freedman as well. I was actually surprised in many ways, but it makes sense when I saw his human design natal chart. Counsel for Miss Lively has made it clear that Miss Lively does not want Mr. Freeman to be the attorney who takes her deposition. Like, I feel like Blake's approaching this as if it's a Lifetime movie. Like, she's trying to cast the characters in it. Like, girl, no, that's not how it works. Like, I'm not even a lawyer, and I know that's not how it works. We are unaware of any situation that would warrant the deposed party to have a choice in which attorney takes their deposition. Parties to litigation simply do not have the right to dictate which of their opponent's attorneys may or may not take their deposition or perform any other aspect of the opposing party's case. Why I also think, like, from like branding Ashley's hat goes on, right? Because that's what I do. To me, this also is such a bad PR move, not only from a legal standpoint of like, you show your cards of like, fuck, I'm like really nervous to be deposed by you, which just gives lawyers that are this badass like so much more fuel, right? Like if they know you're going into it and you already got a diaper on, so you're gonna like poop your pants during it, you know, probably not something you want to show your cards for, but also it's just so bad for PR because it's showing exactly what Justin's team is saying. Like, she tries to control everything, and it just like that's that strong ego in human design, which I can respect when someone uses it properly and not really respect when someone's using it to destroy others. The Wayfarer parties respectfully submit that this important issue should be discussed at the initial pretrial conference. This is February 3rd. Oh my goodness. That's wild. It's like in a couple days. February 3rd. Guys, wear your florals on February 3rd. Hopefully someone's going to be able to get the tea on what's going on that's not like filtered through the New York Times. She could never get hired at Hallmark. Lifetime is her acting right. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, this whole thing is so wild, guys. Like I said, like I never expected to be streaming like pop culture stuff, but I can't not. And then I'm like, well, if I'm going to be looking at this and pulling up everyone's charts and pulling tarot cards for all this fuckery in my own time, like I might as well just do it with other people that get it. Blake Lively's acting like she's going to have someone sent home if they aren't wearing the right florals. Yeah. I can't even imagine being her lawyer, to be honest. Like she's got to be a piece of work. Okay. With that said, and again, you know, I had a call with someone the other day and her chart is like so much power, so much strength, strong ego, and she uses it to like genuinely do good in this world. And she yields her power perspective. We talked about this in a previous live stream to genuinely do good. Like there is a way to use all of that energy that Blake has in a good way. She's just, you know, I think the problem is she's literally never been told no. And I told you guys, I worked in group homes, picked up shifts there with girls that had never been told no. And this is legitimately what happens. Someone finally says no, and they're like, I am going to go scorched earth. It's Monday. Oh my gosh, do I have a busy Monday? I actually think I do. Let me see. Oh no, Monday's not bad. The rest of the week I have a lot of client calls, but Monday, other than from 11 till noon, I could be ready. I could be ready. Blake Lively's lawyers are taking advantage of her and the little tantrum she and Ryan are throwing to make money off. Oh yeah, Leo, I agree. Like, all right, you want to be, we'll just take money. All right, I don't know who, like, is it, okay, so I guess this is Melanie King had posted this. I don't know her personally. I don't know. I haven't been following her. I just saw this video on X, but Melanie says this secret recording of Blake Lively, she admits Taylor Swift's involvement. This is just so like, she has like diarrhea of the mouth. Like if you're going to do shady shit, at least don't like say it in every interview. I really think she had no idea that any of this would bite her in the ass. Admits Taylor Swift's involvement in the It Ends With Us lawsuit and proves she would not take no for an answer to get her way. Let's get this to Justin Baldoni's lawyer. Yeah, like the internet is just, this is the problem with the internet. Girl, her hair is fire. Oh, thank you. Yeah, her hair is so good. She is beautiful. Oh my God. this is the problem with the internet, is like when the internet feels like they've been deceived, they get pissed and they will do anything to uncover your fuckery. And this is where Blake Lively, I think, went wrong. I think she was playing by like old school, like even 2000s playbook where you could get away with a lot. You can't anymore. So let's see what she says. And this is Melanie King on X.
Okay, so I'm not a legal expert, but I think this secret recording of Blake Lively on a press tour of the It Ends With Us movie just threw Taylor Swift under the bus, as well as confirms that Blake Lively does not take no for an answer.
Was it exciting? Did you have to make some calls? There were a lot of calls made for a lot of songs in this movie. Honestly, like this movie, I think that like when you see it, it feels like a big, beautiful summer movie, but like we didn't have any budget. So there were a lot of favors and a lot of begging and release for Taylor. I mean, honestly, she was with me on this experience the whole time, all throughout it. So like she really lived this with me. Yeah, she was, she's a person who shows up for you, and I'm so grateful to have that love and that support. But yeah, there were other people too that I had to call and beg, and people that said no. I don't know what that means. So if somebody has a dictionary, I would love to find the definition of that. It's so confusing to me. No, we just begged to get a lot of the songs in the movie, songs that we couldn't afford. But people, I was just like, please see the movie. It's just, I think you'll want to be a part of it because we all just want to connect with people. We're all storytellers, and so yeah, really proud of the soundtrack in this movie.
I don't know what to say. That's wild to me. That is wild to me. And thank you for being here this morning, guys. I know it's like, well, it's super early on a Saturday in Ontario, but I do have to run to town right after this. So I'm like, I need to get it done before I go. Oh, her persona is fake. I noticed in the text message in Justin's filing, she was acting sarcastic and said we're supposed to be woke. Yeah, I don't think she has a moral compass. No. Yeah, she throws Taylor Swift days around like a brat. You know how my dad is? Oh, yeah, for sure. I'll take your man. I won't take no for an answer. Yep. It's 7 a.m. Okay, well then it's not just me that's thinking about this stuff first thing in the morning. All right, so you guys are my people. I'm like, it's probably not the best time to stream for getting people on, but that's okay. I genuinely don't really care. I hang out with my people. My people are my people. I said to someone recently, like, I'd rather grow slow with the right people than go viral with the wrong people because it's a sacred space. My communities are sacred spaces. Okay, so let's have a look at Bryan Freedman's human design and natal chart really quick. I think this is going to give a lot of context to him as well. Let's stop that. Pull up my mechanics. All right, let's do a quick breakdown of him. And then I think there was something. No, I think that's all we'll do today because we're already at 23 minutes. And then I have to run into town. And we live like an hour from town. So, it's not a short jaunt to the corner. All right, so let's break down Bryan Freedman's human design and natal chart. This is what I call astro design. It's how I weave the two for clients. And I just got really curious because what you see is like someone such as Blake, very afraid to sit and be deposed by him. So he's known as a pit bull in the online space. And obviously, to get to that level as a lawyer, you have to be kind of a badass, right? So he's known as a pit bull, but then I would see all these quotes from Megyn Kelly saying, you feel so held and supported with him. And at the end of the day, just because someone's really good at their job, you can hire someone that's really good at their job and just like kind of look the other way of like, I don't feel comforted. Like, it's not like a teddy bear. It's not like someone that's like got my back. They've got my back legally because that's their job. You know what I mean? So when I was seeing all this about him and the polarity, I was like, I just need to see what's going on because it seems like for those he fights for, it's not like it is personal. It's not just a job, but he's great at his job because he makes it personal. And so I wanted to have a look. You're the morning news. Yeah, that's true too. There's more people going live later. That's true. It fits in my schedule to be the morning news. So maybe I just own that niche. and start to build that consistency of being the morning news. That's actually a good point. Schedule. Perfect. I'm glad. All right, let's have a look. The recording also shows how far she went to take over the movie. Yep. The clothes, casting, rewriting scenes, the music, producing. She's an awful human being. Yeah, she was hired to act, nothing more. I agree. Okay, so. Oh my goodness. Do you guys, okay, I swear I didn't look at this before. I swear, I promise. I promise. Cross my heart on my life. Did you notice I just said you feel held by him and support because he makes it personal? It's not just a job. It's not just like power. Well, look at his perspective. You guys are going to be human design experts by the end of this freaking trial and everything. You guys are going to be like knowing human design left, right, and center. I get you guys that are like, I found your channel for Blake Lively and now I'm learning about my human design. It's the best thing I've ever done. I get that all the time, all these messages about it. So I'm so glad you guys are enjoying human design. I actually have a video scheduled to drop later tonight about human design for you guys. But look at his perspective. It is personal. It's not just a job for Bryan Freedman. So that's why his clients do feel of like there's such a loyalty to him, because it's not just he gets you results, but he actually gives a shit about you. Now, this is, we haven't seen many projectors. Very interesting. Why? And I want to tell you why. When we look at a projector, so see, we have projector here type. For a projector, it means that you don't have a sacral, number one. So the red box here, you can see it's white. When we looked at Justin Baldoni, Ryan Reynolds, and Blake Lively, this is red. So there's no sacral and there's no connection from a motor to the throat. Okay, so his throat is connected to his G center, but it's not connected. There's white gaps between his splenic center, his ego, and his solar plexus. So that makes him a projector. Why is this significant on why people feel seen, but also why he likely makes people against him feel very uncomfortable? Projectors have this aura that starts wide. And what's said is it goes straight into your G center. So it goes straight into your identity. So projectors are the ultimate bullshit detectors, like ultimate bullshit detectors, because they see through. It's like when we think of a generator as an example, or a manifesting generator, so say Justin Baldoni, it's more of like it's a warm embrace, the aura. It pulls you in. So it feels, a little bit softer. The projector aura is going to go like a sniper right to your identity and right through your aura. It doesn't pull you in and give you a warm hug, goes right through. So this is significant for him because when we see his aura, it literally is, he's great at his job because he can see through the bullshit. He sees right to your identity, straight through to the identity center. Freeman reminds me of Benchu. I liked Benchu. He was a hoot. I feel like he would be so nice. I want to say in real life, but I feel like it's not an act for him. He seems legit. Extremely Depo's lawyer. Yeah, I figured. That's funny. I read it as Dep. It's funny how the brain is fascinating. But yes, I read it in my head as Dep. Only on page 50 of the amended lawsuit. I also don't get the glorification of Bryan Freedman. He's better at doing his job, and that's it. He's fantastic at doing his job. And I don't understand, like Blake, you poked the bear. Just sit, girl. Just sit. Just sit for it. Let it happen now. Because you can't get away from a projector aura. And a projector aura hones in one-on-one best. That's why if you're on his side, and I feel like he's also someone that genuinely is, and I could be wrong, but when we're looking at his chart, because again, remember, we're reading his chart from a neutral perspective. You can have a shadow aspect of your chart as well. I feel as though this is someone that would be the voice. So we have 33 to 13, design of a witness. This is in Saturn, Mars, and Saturn again. This is someone that isn't just fighting your case because he's a lawyer, but he truly believes. Because look we also have 37 to 40, which is tribal, design apart, seeking a whole, channel of community. That's it's personal perspective because he's fighting for his people. He's fighting for his community. He's fighting for his clients. He also has, he's a 2-4, so he's a natural at what he does. naturally, when we're looking at the 4 is you externalize your wisdom. So not only does he see right through you, but he sees right through you as the natural. And then he externalizes his wisdom and law to like take down opponents. He's just very, very good at it. Another thing that we see with Bryan, a lot of instinct, like alertness, very alert. Success of any interaction is based on the absence of any preconditions. So that's 44. He has 48, which is the well, the whole channel for the channel of the wavelength. This is going to be personality Sun, design Pluto, or personality Pluto, design Pluto. And he has 32. So what does this mean? This is a lot of instinct. So not only does he see through the bullshit, but he's someone that actually genuinely trusts his instinct. And to me, I would prefer a lawyer or a professional in something like this that is in touch with their instinct. Maybe it's just because I'm spiritual, but I would trust someone that's like, I just have a feeling about this. And then as a bulldog to fight for me, than someone that's just like, just following the books. Like the books are good, obviously. And I'm not saying he's not following the books, but just someone that has this deep, I'm going to fight for my people. He uses his willpower to fight for his community. He's very skilled. His Sun here, gate of skills, personality Sun, that's going to be 70% of your energy when you look at your chart, guys, personality Sun. But look at this. So gate 16, enthusiasm, gate of skills, the great art of enriching life by harmonic channeling of energy. But look at the sharpness to burst bubbles. Anyone think that Bryan Freedman's bursting some bubbles in the lively camp right now? That's his energy. That's what his energy is meant to do. So he has this like honed in aura to, for opponents in law in his career, burst bubbles. Seen the nanny, and so I can hear Fran Drescher commenting on this, like, oh, I know why Justin's gonna win. It's because he got I got the yes. Bryan Freeman's like a shark. I know he's called a pit bull, but this is an interesting combination of like, this is someone that would make you feel uncomfortable in their aura. Because what happens with the projector too, let me know if anyone's pulled up your chart and you're a projector. You might be able to relate to this. So because a projector sees you so deeply, many people don't want to be seen that deeply, right? A lot of people put up veils, they put up masks, they put up illusions, Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, they have these personas that aren't actually who they are. Well, what happens when you're sitting across from someone that sees through it all and calls you out on it? It's deeply uncomfortable. Not where people like that want to be. So the man is built for his job. Right angle cross of planning as well. Really interesting combination here. What we're going to see is that is someone that uses their skill and their passion to create mastery in their job and fight for the rights of others. So it's like all that planning, all that enthusiasm, all this determination, it's bringing harmony back by fighting for others. It's about creating peaceful connections with those that you're with and helping them come back to peace. It's also like a very tribal energy. So again, we might see it like unity within family or community circles. How I would almost pull this right angle cross of planning in the theme of unity within family and community circles to what you see with him and his job is like bringing back unity, bringing back harmony to his clients' family and community circles, right? And we can see him do that. Like we have gate 40, strong gate of willpower. He's using his willpower, dedication, skills, hard work to help bring unity back to his family and community. And I think, a lot of people could go to school to be lawyers and be good at their job, but to get to this level, and there's got to be more. I just believe in that. I truly believe the people that get to like the top, like in a field where genuinely you are helping people as a lawyer. I actually work with a lot of lawyers in my business with their human design and astrology and gene keys. You got into it because you genuinely want to help people, and that's what he's about. Using his willpower to bring unity back. So usually you would look at that as well of like in your life. But again, from the lens of him as a lawyer for the top of the top, I genuinely believe based on this right angle cross of planning that there's just a strong desire and willpower, gate 40, to fight the fight and use his willpower and his skills and his determination to help his clients. So if we even look at his circuitry, sharing and support. So sharing is going to be a collective channel. It just means that you're like, we could also look at it as like sharing with the public, right? So that the public's staying up to date on it, but support is going to be for your people. There's not individual energy in this. It's not a strong individual chart. And the projector as well is always looking at who is the other. So I said this yesterday to a new client. I was doing an astro design call for her. And I said, the generator is a little bit selfish in the fact it's like, who am I? The projector is all who is the other. But again, if you're Blake Lively and you don't want to be deposed by this man, you don't want him seeing all your secrets. You don't want him calling you out on your bullshit. And it's not just because he's a lawyer that he's great for it. He's quite literally designed for it. So what I always say to my clients is what you want to start doing in your life is leveraging your strengths, rather than trying to shore up your weaknesses. We are conditioned to try and shore up our weaknesses. This is a man that followed his strengths and is channeling his strengths into a career where he's very obviously very talented at it. I've only read the first 50 pages of new amended pages of the lawsuit. Oh, 168 pages. Oh yeah, I just pulled up TMZ, baby, for that. So I'll say there's fresh hot tea, but really though, it just makes you sad. I'll have to pull it up later today. I'm trying to take things easy to keep the dogs quiet. And then maybe we'll stream again on it. Makes you think that's crazy how Justin was just going to let it all happen. Would never have talked about it if it wasn't for Blake going, yeah. Well, and that's a good point, Leo, is like, he was just going to let it go. Wait, you have Bryan Freedman's birth date? Yeah, it's online. Not his time. I will say his time of birth isn't online. But I was able to find his birth date because I'm nosy like that. I'm so nosy. But yes, I found his place of birth and his birth date. Couldn't find the time. So what I do, guys, which is what even all astrologers do, is if I can't find the time, I look at both midnight and noon and make the best educated guess based on that. And I also look at what time between midnight and noon is the least volatile. Most people, I've done thousands and thousands of readings by now. Most people are usually born between like midnight and 4 a.m. I get the odd person born during the day, which is very interesting because animals tend to give birth. I mean, we are animals at night as well. But most people, it's safer to go with the midnight. So this is the best guess I can get for his human design body graph based off of the information I was able to be nosy about online. So yeah, he's perspective, personal. And then if we look at, he has a medium reliability score based off of this. So I'm comfortable with saying, as long as it's not like, yeah, way off in terms of time, I'm comfortable with this. Played around with it a bit, but it fits. It also fits. Because they're like, wait, what? How'd you do this? All right, because I'm nosy. Okay, and that's what I do at, apparently 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning, is try to find lawyers' birth information. Okay, let's pull up his natal chart. And all of this really fits with how Megyn Kelly describes him. You hear him, everyone talks about him as like this pit bull, but then you hear so much come out about him as like, you're held with him and you feel supported and he genuinely cares. Like, it all fits. Okay, so with his natal chart, he is, and I saw, I think, hi Alaska, one other person that had pulled up his chart, and they got Gemini as well. So it does seem to fit. Sun, he's Gemini. That right off the bat, I was like, makes sense. This makes sense for what you hear about him, where you see like almost like dual nature, right? Two sides. That's what we hear from Megyn Kelly. You feel taken care of. And but he's also kind of pit bull, very much Gemini. Now, what we're looking at this is there's also like this quick-wittedness, curious. And if we combine that with his human design chart, that quick-witted, thinking on his feet, thinking on the spot, curiosity has driven, as well as ability to protect his clients. That personal feeling of like, I need to use my skills. I need to use this like drive and willpower to bring harmony back to my clients' lives. So this is where I always find it so cool to look at both the human design and the astrology, because it just gives us a little bit more context. Yeah, and it makes sense, like this thoughtful observer, and also someone that's out there and getting shit done for his clients. I thought it really fit. I don't know about you guys. For those that have kind of followed his career, let me know if you're shocked by Gemini, or if you're like, no, that makes sense. After this, let's pull cards. I won't be able to this morning, so I'm already running behind, and I do have to run out and get food for Alaska. But if I have time this afternoon, I'll jump on and pull cards this afternoon. But I definitely have to run out the door as soon as we do this. All right, Vesta in the first house. Why I thought that, I'm just going to pull out a couple things that really stood out for me. Why that really stood out for me is, again, committed to self-mastery. What we seen as human design? Committed to self-mastery, mastery in career. Someone that is using his skills to help his clients, to support his clients. So when I saw the Vesta there, it's like, that makes sense. Now, this is also like strong devotion, Vesta first house. So when I saw that, I was like, Pitbull, Shark. Yeah. Like, this is the energy, Vesta first house, that fire, that flame to do your best damn work. Oh, thank you. To do your best damn work. And so I want you guys to think of Vesta as your inner flame. Okay. So often when I work with clients, you could do a separate video and do the 3 p.m. premiere. Yeah. Well, I'll probably be able to go, depending on how the dogs are, we could probably do another stream this afternoon, pull some cards. I can probably make that happen. I don't want to promise, but I can probably make that happen. It'll be a short stream. So when we're looking at Vesta first house as well, guys, this is like, again, now I'm just thinking about going back to his incarnation cross, right? Like helping your clients bring harmony back to their life. This is someone that is committed. You do your best work and helping others gain security. So Vesta is all your inner fire. So when I lost that train of thought. When I'm working with clients and they're in their business and they're saying, I don't really feel lit up anymore. I'm not really passionate about what I do. A lot of people find me and hire me because they're kind of at an impasse in their life. And they're like, what I was doing before doesn't really light me up anymore. The first place I go is Vesta, because you want to see, why'd that fire go out? Are they aligned with Vesta? Well, I would say that doing your best, and this position as well, first house, is helping people with abundance, which at first I was like, I don't know if that application works, but it does. I mean, Justin Baldoni's what, 400 million and 250 million? I mean, so if he wins both, not only is he providing security for Justin Baldoni, but also abundance. So, but yes, Bryan Freedman's heart, his inner fire, is genuinely to help people. Like, I don't get the feeling. And again, if we look at perspective, human design, personal, he's not power. So he's the opposite of Candace. And I don't say that as she's wrong, he's right, he's wrong, she's right. No. Very different energy. It's personal to him when he walks into a room. It's personal to him when he takes on a case. And Candace, we can look at as like more taking down power figures or understanding power dynamics. That's actually the opposite. That's the distraction for Bryan Freedman. And I don't know. And some people might disagree with me, but I genuinely get from reading his human design natal chart, that the man genuinely just loves helping people gain abundance through like righting the wrongs and have security from righting wrongs. I just get that feeling from him. And that also makes you great at your job when you actually believe in what you're doing, right? When there's that actual fire, Vesta, behind it. A couple other things that really stood out for me with his chart is we have the sun, 7 degrees. We then have Mercury at 12. So it's a good influence there. It's pretty strong. A lot of energy. That's Algol as well, hanging out there. This is someone that is both charming and assertive, passionate, very alive, someone that can make you feel very uncomfortable. Again, if we go back to human design, if they're seeing you too deeply and you don't want them to see you deeply. But this is, again, that sun with Mars. Did I say Mercury? I think I said Mercury. Yes, it is Mercury. Sorry, guys. It's got too much going on in my head. This is someone that's very, very passionate. This is someone that's going to fight the fight for you. This is someone that their friends, their clients, if we're looking at from a business perspective, is very important to you. And so when we're looking at him, if we look at from the perspective of his natal chart as well as his human design, what we're seeing is someone that's going to fight for people he cares about, but he genuinely cares about you. And I think that's why we're seeing so much loyalty in his clients. Like, people keep him on retainer afterwards. And I think people just don't want to let him go because it's like, he genuinely gives a shit about me. He genuinely cares about me. And I think that's it's just such a, I don't know. This is kind of the person that you want fighting for you. Oh, there's where my eye was going. I'm like, why was I saying Mars? I couldn't figure out where I got Mars in my head, but that's where my eye was looking. So we have Mars, we have South Node, we have Venus, all hanging out in the 10th house. Well, what do we know about the 10th house? That's going to be career. Sometimes my brain gets ahead of me. This is going to be someone that, one, I almost wonder, I don't know much about Bryan, but I almost wonder if something that happened in his childhood or youth is why he wanted to get into this career and why he wanted to help people, like almost improve himself. Like, because that's actually an interesting energy now that I sit with it. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if something happened in his childhood, if he had a hard childhood or something happened in his youth, and he was like, this is why I'm passionate about what I do, and this is why I'm passionate about helping people. It's very much an energy of like something from even past lives, if you want to go super woo. A client signed up for a call for my YouTube channel. She's like, I'm going to go super woo on you. I'm like, yeah, it's me. Like, we're good. Go super woo. So I got you. All right. So to go super woo or spiritual, it could even be past lives that have anchored in like his values on why he wants to fight for people. Bryan Freedman feels personally victimized by Blake Lively. I feel personally victimized by Regina George. Oops. I mean, I think we all feel personally victimized by, hello, Julia, not by Julia, by Blake Lively. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Sloan put out a video where he said that there were Bryan Freedman allegations. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So it doesn't surprise me that there might have been something in his, like, what I get with South Node is like distant past, like not 5 years ago, like distant past. So either past life or when he was a youth. And you guys know me, what I've said, well, for those that have been here, I am such an advocate for someone that's like, I've messed up and I want to do better. The internet sometimes isn't like that. The internet is kind of like, I will keep kicking, the dog while it's down. But for me, I'm such a supporter for someone's like, I've messed up, I've done wrong, and now I'm dedicating my life to helping people. And for me in this position, like what I feel, not every lawyer, but a lot, I actually wanted to get into law at one point in my life because I was like, you get to help people. And then I was realized, I don't know, like I don't want to help people that have actually done bad. I don't know. And so I had this conflict, but college or high school. Interesting. Okay, that makes sense then. That would make sense. So there you go. So something around that time drove him in career to start looking at his values, communication, how am I using my skills, human design to help people. Oh, interesting. And oppose Moon and Pluto. Yeah, so something definitely happened, but he's turning that around. Yeah, that's what I would say. So I would say legit, based on this energy that I see in his chart, that was karma that he had to go through in the sense of like having shit. I'm not excusing anything. Please don't think I'm excusing anything. I do not ever excuse illegal shit if something happened. And there was something that was fated to happen that was going to set him on this path. But that's a tough energy. Moon with Pluto in itself is a tough energy. Pluto retrograde, but oppose, Mars, South Node, your values. I saw Alanis Morissette as one of Friedman's clients. That's hilarious. I love that. I love that. That's so good. It's like, I need tea. I drink coffee. I need tea when we do these. Okay, where else do I want to go with this? But yes, I would say definitely something happened. That's a difficult energy to have in your birth chart, but definitely someone that as well as used it as a catalyst. So I would say that with the Vesta first house as well, with his son, with his human design chart, he is here to help people, like genuinely help people, and that's where he's passionate. So I would say yes, that was a catalyst for him. Now, yeah, and the South Node there as well. One thing I want to say about that is like your life lessons were also there in your personal relationships. He's also personal perspective. Your life lessons were there to like set you in the right path. So I don't know. And now I'm going to have to look into it. All right, let's pick out a couple points and then other points. Then I have to like actually eat breakfast because I haven't even ate yet, and then go. I'll probably eat in the car. Probably have a shake in the car. All right. Let's see where his Lilith is. Oh, interesting. Lilith in Gemini, retrograde, 12th house. All right. So this is an interesting information about him. This is going to be a gift for communication, someone that articulates themselves very well. We have it conjunct with Chronos, which is authority, leadership, mastery. It's also like strength within a difference of opinion. It can also be understanding bureaucracy. We see Chronos a lot in terms of like politicians, people that are like big, right? Like we see strong Chronos placements for people that end up being like big actors, politicians, big time lawyers, I suppose, especially with the conjunct Jupiter as well. But this energy is, yeah, he was kind of fated to be famous, I would say, I'd argue. But with this position, it is communication. You have the potential to use it with retrograde in terms of like this life being lessons around it in early life. And then as you develop, as you age, it's to help advocate for people through your authority, through your leadership, but also for your own abundance. Jupiter. It's also for your own abundance and expansion. It's a job at the end of the day as well. Man's getting paid. And so his communication, those life experiences, his mastery has been fated to be a big figure. Doesn't even surprise me that he's a celebrity lawyer. It was kind of fated for him. However, with this energy, it can feel like, so this, if I was just doing like a normal natal chart reading with this energy with Lilith, I would say you might get frustrated when people don't listen to your thoughts or opinions. Like you have very strong thoughts and opinions, a very distinct way of thinking, and you get really frustrated when people don't listen to you. For him, and the little bit I know about him and being a lawyer, he probably doesn't, I can't see him ever have taken on someone like Blake. Let's just put it that way. I don't think he deals with very well if people like try to, and maybe that's also why he's so passionate about it. But people try to like take over. So someone, if a regular person came to me with that, I'd be like, yeah, you probably don't do well people trying to like steamroll you and not listen to you. I wonder who they're going to cast to play Bryan Freedman in the Hollywood reenactment. That's hilarious. There's so much tea. It's not a hot tub or a hot Olympic-sized pool of tea. Yeah, it is wild. I love like pulling because this like it just gives me so much information about them. And again, please never see, guys. So I do try taking you guys, if you've seen previous streams, I do try to take a neutral approach to their natal chart and their human sign, and then show you how we could see the distortion of energy from that perspective. So I'm never justifying and being like, oh, Blake Lively has such a strong ego, so it's okay for her to be a narcissist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I used to be a counselor. But, it's okay for her to treat people like that, or it's okay for her to pull people down. No, I just want to give you guys context and then build from that and say, okay, so this is what we're seeing in a situation, and this is how the energy can be misused. Someone's definitely already writing a script. Hello. New fan of the channel. Well, thank you. You're so cool. I love your take on human design and the Baldoni case. Well, welcome, my friend. Welcome to the family. We're small but mighty here. And thank you for saying that, because, I often get comments of, which is totally cool too. You guys can give me your feedback of like, just do the pop culture, don't do the human design and stuff. But I think that's what makes us unique here. And it's going to mean that I grow slower, but I don't care. because I get the right people here and we have so much fun with this and we pull cards and we look at the human design, the astrology, and I go on like unhinged rants. And, we have, it's the right community. That matters more to me. So please don't be a stranger in the chat. Everyone's really cool here. Late again. And the only thing I have in common with Marilyn Monroe, that's hilarious. That's okay. This was totally impromptu. And I was like, I need to do this before I head out of the house today. I love that, Justin. We love your rants. They're so unhinged sometimes, but thank you. I love it. Justin has an entire team of internet lawyers. Yeah. Fighting for him, fighting the good fight for him. All right. So that's just an interesting placement. I can't even see him taking on someone, especially since in his human design body graph, his perspective's personal. Cases are personal to him. And I do believe he has to believe in the case. There's some lawyers that can just like take anything and they don't care because it's money. I don't get that feeling from him at all, especially from his perspective in human design. Like, could he be in distraction and go over to power and then only do things to get more power? Well, sure. Of course he could. That's his distraction. But an aligned Bryan Freedman is doing things because he actually believes in the cause and kind of gets like, here's the other thing. With this Lilith placement, 12th house, like he needs to have the last word, which is fucking hilarious. Sorry for newbies. Sometimes I swear I try to like rein it in a little bit, but that is hilarious when you go up against someone like Blake Lively, who also has to have the last word. I feel like Blake with him, can you imagine the deposition? It's going to be wild. Because of his Lilith placement, he's like, I need to have the last word. And Blake's like, no, have you seen my ego? I need to have the last word. To be a fly on the wall. But the problem is, Blakey girl, you don't know the law. This isn't some movie you're scripting. Brian's going to have the last word, baby girl. That is wild. Oh, Blake, no wonder you're freaking out. Hello, Mel. That's okay. I'm just, crazy streaming really early. I'm the problem. It's me. At least I can admit it. And when I was going live early, I'm like, I know I'm going to leave out so much of my community, our community. It's not my community. The hell am I, Blake Lively? My community. No, our community. By going live super early, but like I have like 6 minutes and then I have to get out of the house. I've noticed Blake has to have the last word. Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's going to be wild because that Lilith, and you don't want to mess with Lilith. Lilith is unhinged. Like, she's dark goddess, right? Lilith is unhinged. But here's the thing, like the distortion of Lilith as the goddess, Lilith mythology. What we have to keep in mind with Lilith is she was Adam's. If you want to go way back in this, I'm not going to make this religious, but you want to go way back in Lilith, the goddess mythology. She was Adam's first wife and refused to submit. So I'm going to do what I want. And so she was cast out of the Garden of Eden. And there were issues with she wasn't allowed to have babies. And then she started sleeping with demons. She has a crazy story. But then, like, that's the distorted version of Lilith, is kind of going scorched earth from like pain and anger and rage. So when you're looking at Lilith in a body graph, in a natal chart, that's the distortion of her. Is like you're unhinged from rage. You're unhinged from being hurt. But the exalted version of Lilith, the divine, if you want to look at from that perspective, version of Lilith is like, I'm not doing this because I'm in a rage. Like for Bryan, for example, needing to have the last word with this placement. I'm doing this because I'm fighting for what's right. I'm doing this because I'm fighting for my client. I'm doing this because of my mastery and skill, and I'm the best at what I do. And I'm going to have the last word because I am the authority here, not you, Blake. And you can feel that different energy, right? It's still Lilith. It's still the expression of Lilith, but it's just a different octave is another way you can look at it. A different octave of her is one way that's often described. But and, Lilith in 12th house can also be that dark side. And I'm going to be fair. I'm going to say this. Actually, now I think back, wasn't Blake's Lilith in 12th house as well? Oh my God. Oh my God. There can be a dark side for him. What I see is the square, right, to values. And it's what I said before with him is I do believe there was something that happened when he was younger, whether past life as a kid or a youth, something that happened that put him on the right path. And so I do believe there was like, and here's the thing, we all have a dark side at the end of the day. It's how do we use it? And I will always be an advocate for someone that's willing to do better. Always. Let's do a couple of maybe one or two more placements in terms of Lilith, because I like this energy. We have trine energy over to the moon and Pluto. It's a little bit of a weak influence. It's not like a strong trine, but I do want to mention it as well because this is intuition. Understanding complex situations from trusting your intuition. And you're like not afraid to, because Lilith and Pluto are both dark energy, shadow realms, if you will. Like you're not afraid to go into the shadow. You're not afraid to like de-rubble what's there. You're going to figure shit out. You're going to trust your intuition. You're going to go beyond like the traditional approach to things and you're going to figure things out. That is like, that's the pit bull. That's the pit bull energy. That's interesting. I don't know, guys. Quincux, Mercury. It's kind of like also love the drama type energy, which I don't doubt. Like, yeah, I think you kind of have to live for the drama with Lilith and Mercury. Yeah, I think you kind of have to live for the drama to get to that level. Yeah, so that's what I would say with his natal chart. It's not a full reading, of course, but just pulling out a couple pieces. I think there's something that, like, I truly, especially when combining his human design with it, he's someone that it is deeply personal, the cases he works on, which is why you're hearing a lot of his clients stay with him forever. They feel supported by him. They feel like he's passionate about their cause because he actually legitimately is. And why you're going to see people like Blake Lively poop in their pants. Let's pull up the human design one more time, poop in their pants over having to sit across from him. I probably would, even if I didn't do anything wrong, to be quite honest, with energy like this, because of that projector aura. And the projector sees through your illusions. They see through your bullshit. And it's why a lot of people are uncomfortable with projectors, but it's also where a lot of projectors simply struggle in life. Because the problem is, if you see someone too deeply in personal relationships, say with your best friend or your husband, wife, if you see something too deeply or before they're ready to say something or ask for help or see and recognize that you have skills that they could use, sometimes it almost feels like a boundary invasion. My husband's a projector, and I'll tell you guys a really funny, it's so mundane, but a funny story about it. So whenever I make protein shakes after my workout, I put all the ingredients in and then I throw the protein on top and I hit blend. Well, what happens when I do that? It goes poof, and the protein powder like shoots out and it sticks to the side, and I probably get half a scoop for every scoop I put in. This is super mundane, but I just want to give you like a super mundane example of the projector. So what ends up happening is, my husband would sit there and he kept saying like, do you want help? Like, I can help you do that. The projector aura, like he could tell I was getting frustrated. He could see that like, I was getting frustrated over the situation. He's like, if you don't put that in last, it's going to save you time, right? And you can get your whole scoop. But then you just get frustrated. So you're like, I didn't ask for help. So that's kind of the energy that projectors live with, is you're living in an energy of desiring to be seen, desiring to be recognized for your skills. One of the best things for projectors, such as Bryan Freedman, is success. That's a signpost that you're on track, is you feel successful in what you do and you are successful in what you do. But there is this energy of, if someone doesn't want to be seen by you, it is deeply uncomfortable. And Blake clearly doesn't want him seeing her on a deeper level. Yeah, it's a federal case. Federal trials do not allow cameras. I hope someone's there where we can at least get unbiased. Y'all, for those that are here late, you guys have homework, Okay. And then you have to report back and let me know because I got to go. You guys have homework because I pulled up the New York Times article and I found the same thing everyone else found before with the weird timestamps, but now it's showing everything stamped, like all the images, as December 12th and after. I want you guys to go and check it yourself. Am I just crazy? I might be. You know, it's possible. But every image I pulled up, and it did not happen like this because as soon as the news broke online about the New York Times article and the HTML codes and the links that had dates before December, I pulled it all up. But now I'm only seeing dates after December. And I know I've edited things. I've edited things on my website. If I decide to change what's attached to an image, I'll just like go in on my blog and like not shady like this, obviously, but I'll go in on my blog as an example or on my main page and I'll take a picture down and I can re-upload the same picture in its spot, but with a different SEO marker. So it's not like you can't do that. I think we did do the dates on the live. And at the very least, if we didn't, I swear we pulled up the dates here. I swear we did together. I don't really do anything in regards to pop culture now without you guys. I used to just sit by myself and do this by myself in my living room. And now we all hang out together and do it. But I could have swore we did. But even if we didn't pull up the actual dates, which I swear we did, TikTok's got to have it. But I'm a little bit worried that New York Times is trying to cover their tracks and be like, they're just crazy online. What are you talking about? Look it's fine. Which I'm sure they could also prove if they did that. But anyway, reporters are allowed. Well, hopefully legit reporters. Hopefully we get like Dave Neal or someone. I don't know if he considers himself a reporter, but someone that will be unbiased to go. Like, or is it like New York Times? Transcripts will be public record. Yeah. Get the written version of the trial. That's true too. But anyway, I got to go, guys. I got to run in town. I'm going to get my dog, Alaska. Their legal reporters going. Fantastic. That's so good. There's so much more I want to talk to you guys about. Like I have the pictures saved of Taylor Swift with Ronan Farrow prior to all this going down. It's wild. It's also wild, but I do have to go. If I have time later this afternoon, I'll jump on again. We can do a card pull, maybe do a couple other topics. I heard Donna is thinking of going to New York to cover the trial. Well, that's super cool. She seems like a hoot. Well, she is a hoot. Watch her stuff. All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed. And welcome to all the new community members. Please don't be a stranger. The community is really great here. I'm a little biased, but it is really great. I'm learning so much. It's been so light and fun to follow this case through your channel. Amazing talent and profession. Well, thank you, my friend. Yeah, I'm glad. It's a different perspective on things, but you know, we're like I always say, we're a small but mighty community. I want to be a dragon if it paid. Yeah, nice. This is amazing. So I hope she goes. Oh my gosh. All right, my friends, I'll see you soon. Have a great day. Thank you for joining me early in the morning, and we'll see how the day flows. If not today, we'll stream tomorrow. Why not? All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.